everyone, Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking. Welcome to my Feel Good Friday Live with Pamela, though this is a recording. I'm recording it on Thursday evening and it should be posting Friday, September 27th at 10 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and on Facebook. So welcome, and if you're joining me, whether you're here live or joining the replay, please comment. Let me know where you're viewing from. How's your weather? I hope you're not in the hurricane area. I'll be praying for you if so. Anyhow, let's get started with my Feel Good Friday. And I will be sharing with you today some cards, 4 cards actually, that I am making. They are going to be fun fold cards, but I am going to teach you a fun technique to use with your paper trimmer and a scoring tool. So we'll do that here in just a moment. We will be using the Regal Winter Collection and the stamps along with some of the paper. I think you're really going to like these cards. They're a little bit different, super clean and simple. So before that, I do want to share some exciting things that are happening right now. Yesterday, on Wednesday, September 24th, Stampin Up refreshed their clearance rack. So I have a little graphic here for you with just some information. You can shop on my website at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net. And you will find all kinds of products that are up to 60% off. That includes DSP, stamp sets, I think. There's dies and stencils, all kinds, ribbons, accessories, embellishments, all kinds of great things there. And then also, I have something special to share with you about Paper Pumpkin. So if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber yet or not familiar with that, you would just go to paperpumpkin.com, and it's a subscription service. They send you an awesome little box of cards, like card bases, envelopes, punch outs, dies. You get a stamp set, a little mini ink pad. You get all the adhesives you need to create 9 or so cards. Sometimes there are other projects. Lately it's just been cards, but I am going to be a part of a new design team that with 11 other women that will create projects for you. We'll have a PDF file, so it'll have 12 different projects that you can create using your Paper Pumpkin subscription box. So if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber yet, then you'll want to subscribe by October 10th. Here is some information on that, because Stampin Up is offering 40% off your first month when you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, and that offer ends October 10th. So you'll go to paperpumpkin.com, you'll select a subscription. You can do month by month, you can do 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and you'll get 40% off your first month, so your first box. It usually retails about $25, so you'll get 40% off of that. So be sure you use that hostess code, write that down, holiday40, and then when it asks about a demonstrator, I would be so grateful and honored if you would include my name, Pamela Blackwell, as your demonstrator. And when you do that, then I will share with you that PDF file, and that'll happen every month around the first of the month. So that kit you just saw, that one will go live. They'll ship it October 11th, and then, or ish, October 11-ish. So you'll get it about a week or so later, and then November 1st, you will receive the PDF guide that has 12 alternative projects in it. And that'll be coming from me. Here is a sneak at what is coming for October 1st. So if you sign up before October 1st, then I will send you this PDF too. Let me share with you, well, I can only share my sneak peek, but it is the Autumn Abundance, I believe is the name of this stamp set. It's the September, or it's the Paper Pumpkin kit. It's the September kit that released back on September 11th. And you may not be able to get the products to use with this, but you'll have 12 great ideas. So I'll share those come October 1st. All right, I think that is all the information that I have. So let me switch over to my overhead view here. All right, so here's my desk, and I wanted to share the Regal Winter, which I think is turned right to it. I can't believe it. Regal Winter, which is featured on pages 34 and 35. I've been using this whole suite of collection products this week. I did a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout on Monday. I did an 8.5 by 11 page on Wednesday, and today I'll be creating 4 cards using some of the papers, the stamps and dies, the gems, and the ribbon. So you can purchase this and get, if you purchase the collection, let me see, you get 10% off. You actually get 10% off the floral bundle, which is the stamps and dies. But you can purchase everything pictured here for the $87.75. Okay? And then you can recreate the projects that I've done this last week by just following along with my YouTube videos. All right, so here's the stamp set. I've got my stamps over here ready to go today. And then these are the dies that we'll be using. Then I also grabbed stylish shapes. These are the dies I'll be using. I think 2 of these on here. And then I've got ink pads here. I have Wild Wheat, Blackberry Bliss, Moody Mauve, Garden Green, and Night of Navy. And then just real quick, don't forget about our awesome products that we have, our annual catalog products. It's full of wonderful products, staples, just all kinds of goodness. And then we just released scrapbooking products through Stampin' Up. So there's 4 scrapbooking kits inside of here. That can be found on my website as well, along with exclusive items that we don't even have catalogs for. So all you have to do is look under the menu for exclusive products. All right, so let's get busy here. I have 4 cards prepped and ready to go for you. And here is the first kit, and we'll get right into it. So these are all standard size cards. Again, I didn't do any fun folds today, but we have 8.5. This is 5.5 by 8.5. Piece of, I'm just going to make sure, 5.5 by 8.5 piece of basic white cardstock scored at 4 1/4, and then we can go ahead and fold that. And then we have several pieces here. This is the one I'm going to stamp and die cut out of, these 2 pieces. And then we have some layering and scoring to do right here. So let's teach you how to do the scoring real quick. I'm just going to keep all this together in here. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And on my paper trimmer, I have a score blade and a cutting blade. All right, I'm going to move these out of the way so that I have plenty of room so you can see my entire, there we go, pretty much the entire paper trimmer, so you can see what I'm doing. On this one, we're going to do a fun technique. So I'm going to, there's kind of a front and back to your piece. This piece, by the way, is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And we're going to, if you cut your paper and you have a ridge right here, you may want to do the back. This might be the back. So we're going to lay this into our trimmer with corner to corner. So this corner to that corner, right in the score cut area right here. And I don't want to do any cutting, so I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way. I'm just going to do some scoring. So I'm going to score, and then I'm going to move over. I'm going to move my scoring piece area over to the 1 inch right here. So I'm going to line it up top to bottom. So I'm 1 inch over, and then I'm going to score again. And then I'm going to move over to the 2 inch mark. So I'm following this right here. Just line that up so you get straight score lines. All right. Now I need to turn this around. Sorry for that interruption. So I've turned my piece around so I can score this side now. So I've got that middle score line at the 1 inch mark. Gonna score, then move that over to the 1 inch mark, that piece, and score again. Okay, now I want to do like a quarter turn where I line up from here to here, and we'll do the exact same thing. Score, move over 1 inch, score, move over 1 inch. Just making sure that's lined up good. Okay, and then we're gonna do a full turn, line that center one up at 1 inch, and then move over to 1 inch again. And then that is our last score. So it's kind of like a waffle look, waffle cone look. All right. Then we are going to do some stamping. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute and we'll get our stamping done. So let's see, I want to grab a couple of these. Let's do these pieces first. So I'm going to need my Blackberry Bliss, my Wild Wheat, and I think that's it for now. So let's do Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to stamp this twice. I'm going to stamp in 1st generation and 2nd generation. That is close to my heart terminology, but stamping off is what Stampin' Up calls it. Okay, and then I am going to find my chamois so that I can keep my items clean, my stamps clean. So just wipe that up with your chamois. And I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to leave it laying over here because I'm going to use it again. And then I've got this one from the stamp set. I want to stamp this using Blackberry Bliss onto this piece. Okay, so it's comes out kind of a tone on tone. Again, clean up your stamps before you put them away. I'll put that one back, and I'll put this one back on here. So I'll be using that again shortly. And then I want this stamp set right here. This time I need the Wild Wheat. Whoops, I'm making a mess. Let me clean up my fingernail and my finger. Make sure I don't have any. Okay, let's try that again. All right, and then this one I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to stamp once and then a second time. Okay, so I'm going to end up using this one right here. It's a little bit lighter. All right, and I'm just going to lay that there. And we need anything else? I don't think so. And we're going to cut these pieces out using my mini cut and emboss. All right, so I've got some Post-it tape on some of these already, so we're good to go. So I like to peel it off though so I can see all the edges. All right, so I do want 2 of these, so I'm gonna have to run this through twice. Let's get it lined up for that one, and then we can line up this one over here. This one's a little more, it's a little trickier because it's dark. So just line it up the best you can. And this is actually some of that pattern paper. Okay, so we are using a little bit of the pattern paper on this piece. And then I just need this one down here. All right, let me see if that's, yeah. I'll have to run these 2 through twice, I believe. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get it through here. Get it going. We'll shake everything. All right, so that's one piece we need. I don't need to cut this one out right now, so I'm just gonna put that back in there. All right, then I need that piece, and I want this one too. So I still have a little bit of my cold hanging on. It's kind of moved down into my chest, and for me, it like lingers. That always, when that happens, it lingers for a while. It can be very frustrating, so my apologies for coughing on camera. All right, I'm gonna put that in there. I'll lay this one up here first. Then we'll do this one. Let's see if we can get it through here. So I wasn't really sure how I would like this collection, especially the paper, because it was so rich and busy, I guess. But these cards I'm going to show you right now are what made me fall in love with this collection. These were inspired by my upline, Rhonda Wade, and just really love how they're going to turn out. Okay, so I think I've got everything stamped. Just double checking. I'm going to set my cut and emboss machine over to the side. Let's bring in everything here. Now, before I attach all this together, I do want to stamp this right here using the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp it right on the card front here. And you can do this before or after. Just making sure I get it inked up well. And I'm going to position it right down, I think, here. Okay, you don't want to roll it around or back and forth. Just straight down, let it sit for a second. And then you're going to get that look. So if you wanted to, you could have stamped it beforehand, before scoring it, but it doesn't matter, either or. Okay, before I put that away, I do remember that I need to do one more little piece of, I need to do something for my sentiment. So I'll grab that same piece, and we're gonna take those stylish shapes that I said we were gonna use. I'm going to stamp the word miss you, so I think I'm gonna do this one right here. Okay, I think that'll be a good size. There we go. All right, now that should be the last thing we need. All right, so I've got to do that stamping too. So let's find Miss You. I've already put it on a block. I'm going to stamp it in Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp it further on this side though, because this might be just a little long. Okay, now we want to take some of that beautiful ribbon. Let me find it in my little stash over here. All right, and I'm going to go around the card and just tie a knot. So I want enough. Let me find my scissors. It's like Pumpkin is snoozing back here today. All right, so I want to bring it over, and I'm going to tie a knot right over here. Let me get up on here so y'all can see a little bit better. All right, hopefully I did it long enough. I think I did. Just want to be careful to not grab those ends or it'll fray on you. All right, so kind of position it, going over those flowers a little bit. And then we're going to adhere this piece. Let me get my adhesive. To this white piece. So again, this one was 3 3/4 by 5. This one is 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to have about 1/8 of an inch going all the way around. Okay, so white on white, look how pretty that is. And then we can adhere this onto here, but we're going to use some dimensionals to do that, to give it a little bit more texture and dimension. So, all right, so yeah, since I'm doing this recording, it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock Thursday evening. Of course, I have kiddos interrupting, pets interrupting. Jeff will be home in a little bit. Maybe I'll be done before he gets home. We'll see. And then I have a team meeting at 8 o'clock tonight. All right, so you'll layer that right onto that white base. So look at all those pretty layers. Love it. Okay, now let's build up these pieces. I'm just going to take my adhesive. I'm going to tuck this like right over in here. This one I'm going to do let it poke out like right down in here. And then we've got this piece of DSP that I stamped on, and then it can kind of float out over here a little bit. Let it touch that. Then we'll want this piece. I'm going to put these on. Let's see, I think these are good size. I'm just going to put the dimensionals on this end because most of this is going to be covered up. All right, and then right under there, you can kind of maneuver your ribbon a little bit, make sure that you can see that. And then this one we're going to put on with dimensionals. So it can probably fit one dimensional in each little flower. Getting that tape off. Goodness. All right, and then let me kind of see. You can just kind of decide where you want to adhere it. I think I'll do it just kind of like that. All right, and then last but not least, we need to add some. Let me see what I got here. No, that's not gonna, I don't really like the way that works. So I've got my tweezers, I'll grab those. All right, so I'm gonna put a couple of these, let me remember, I can't remember what they're called. There we go. They are Regal foiled adhesive backed dots. I'm gonna put one right there. And I love how that pops off that wild wheat flower. And then I'm gonna do one more because I like odd numbers. And I'm gonna do it like right up in here. All right, there's card number 1. Kind of turn it that way so you can see the scoring on it. Now I have another sample that's super similar, but look how I did it. I did exactly what I did here, and then I moved over 1/8 of an inch on each one and did a double score line. So look at the difference of that. Yeah, just have to show it to you like that. All right. Okay, so that's card number 1. Now let's do card number 2. I'm getting my instructions ready, make sure that I'm doing the right thing. All right, so at least everything's cut already. Another 5.5 by 8.5 piece scored at 4¼ inches. And you can use your scoring tool if you need to, your bone folder, if you need to flatten that down a little bit. So we're going to put these pieces down first. Go ahead and do that. There's some of that beautiful paper. I'm going to layer it. This is 2 inches by 5.5. So it's the length of the card. Same as that is 1/2 inch by 5.5 inches. And we're going to use the opposite side. Some of that wild wheat checked. Okay, so there's our card base. Now we need to do some scoring on this. So let's move that out of the way and bring our trimmer back in. And this one we're going to do here and here. So first I'm going to turn it this way, and I am going to measure at 3/4 of an inch right down here. Make sure you're just using your score blade. And you're going to score 5 times 1/8 of an inch apart. Okay? First score is at 3 3/4 of an inch. So then I'll move over this way toward the inside of the card at 1/4 inch, and I'll do that 5 times. Okay. I'm going back and forth a little bit just to give a little bit more dimension. That's 4 and that's 5. Okay, now I want lines going this way, so I'm going to start at 3 1/4 inches again, my first score, and then move over 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. This is number 4, and then one more. It's 1/8 of an inch, not 1/4 of an inch, by the way. Just caught myself. And then you have this look right here. Love it. All right. So there we have those pieces. We can, excuse me, we can go ahead and layer all this together. So this goes right onto this white piece. So this piece right here is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4 inches. This one was 3 by 4 1/2. And then white on white again. That's what I love about these cards. And then I'm going to put these up with dimensionals. So let's kind of stagger those dimensionals. There, I got just enough. I will end up cutting and using all of that as well. So let me know what you're thinking about these cards. I've done lots of color, lots of different looks this week. And these are like pretty simple, but really sharp looking. And then you'll just want to adhere that on there like that. Okay. I guess that's the best way, is to make it so you can see it. The lighting is over here, washes it out. Okay. Now we need to do some prep work. So let me see if I had some scrap cardstock. I don't know that I did for that one. Give me 1 second. I may have to grab some. It's probably hiding under here. So hold please. There it is. All right, see, I got some scraps. I'll go ahead and bring this in, because we're going to be using this awesome one right here along with this floral border. So I'm going to cut just those 2 things. So let's see if we can, what we can fit them on. Don't think I can do it this way. I've got to go this way. But I might can fit it in here. I think so. All right, so I think that will go through there just fine. So we'll do this piece and this one. One thing I do think I need to do is make sure this is down a little bit further and that's up. See if that will help it go through. Alrighty, we'll squeeze it through there. And check out this. That didn't actually cut out that piece all the way. So you would have 2 of pieces like that, but I think I was too close to the edge. All right, then we have, so I'm going to use this one and this one. So just something to keep in mind. If you get if you have it too far off the edge, sometimes these don't line up. If they're off, it may not cut all the way through. So you may have to then run it again. All right, but these are the pieces we need and they're good. So let me show you this cool tool. So you get this and this piece and something else, I think. I don't remember which ones. But you can run this over top to help get those little pieces out. There we go. I think I got them all out. And then just dump that in the trash. Love that little brush. All right, so what do we have going on next? We need to stamp this sentiment, wishing I were there to give you a hug. And we're gonna do that in Blackberry Bliss. I'm gonna stamp it towards the top of this. Okay, perfect. And that's all our stamping. Whoops, look, I'm making a mess. All right, and then we can layer this on here with some dimensionals. I'm going to just cut some of this so that I can use all of this on my stamping dimensionals. I just need a couple of strips, and that should work. We're going to adhere this like right, kind of overlapping, maybe 1/4 of an inch over on this side. Then this piece, I can just adhere with some adhesive. You can kind of position it so that it'll cover up that G just a tiny bit. But again, it's just a bunch of white on white. I love it. Just something new and different. All right, I don't think I'll use that piece. So I'm gonna make a bow with this. Kind of a tiny bow. Something kind of like that. Gonna pull it kind of tight so I can get a nice clean cut. Okay, that works. Then we'll need some glue dots. And this ribbon is kind of heavy and a little bit stiff, so I'm gonna put a few glue dots even kind of on the back of the bow part. And then you can just position this anywhere you want. I think I'm going to put it right down over here so you can see that. And if you need to trim off some more of that, totally can. Let me see if I can do it. The only reason I would do that is so that it fits down in your card nicely. So check that out. Hopefully I'll be able to get some good pictures with the... Oh, one more thing. We gotta have gems. What did I do with my gems? There we go. All right, so I'm gonna do some more of these Blackberry Bliss. You can tell what I'm liking with this. I've used those a lot. I'm gonna have to make myself do something with all these other colors. And we'll do it right over here in this. There we go. All right, so 2 cards, they're pretty much identical. So there we have that. All right, now we need to move on to card number 3. Doing pretty good on time, I think. Well, there you got to see the sample. So that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to see if I can do the lines going this way, though, because on the original instructions that I had, the lines were going that way. Okay, so again, a 5.5 by 8.5 piece, scored at 4 1/4. And that just kind of keeps the card somewhat flat. I'm going to have to die cut that. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. Let's do our scoring first. So you'll pick the piece that's smallest and grab your scoring, your paper trimmer. All right, so if I want the lines to go this way, then I am going to, okay, let me think for a minute. So if I want them going this way when I flip it over, I think I'm going to go this way. Okay, so I want them to go across this way. So I'm going to start about right here. No particular angle, just at a diagonal, at an angle, not all the way down. So kind of in between what we did the first time and straight, I guess. So let's do 1. Then we're going to move this way 1/8 of an inch. So I am just looking right here, kind of in between those pieces. And then from here, I can line up this line with the 1/4 inch mark. And then just move over to the second line to the 1/4 inch. I think that's going to be too much. Let me see. Okay, so my second line is on the 1/4 inch. But we're doing 1/8 inch lines. Just move it over a smidge. And we're doing 6 lines. So that is 5 so far, I believe. All right. So I think that's right. That's the opposite of what I had a minute ago. All right. So we've got that. Now let's do some stamping and die cutting. We're going to need, let's see. Sorry, guys. I could chop that out, but you know what? I'm not going to. It just is what it is. Okay, I'm going to take this piece and cut it down real quick to a 3-inch piece because that's what'll fit best in my trimmer. All right. Now let's get situated here. Ooh, that was loud. All right, so we need, you know what we need to do first? We actually need to stamp first. So let's move that over here and let's do our stamping. We're going to change up the color combination a little bit. See some ink I got on here. All right, so I'm going to use some Wild Wheat, some Moody Mauve, and Garden Green. So let's do Moody Mauve, and we're going to stamp this pretty flower. And then we're going to take that cluster of leaves, so I can put that away for the moment. There we go. Now let's do wild wheat. Okay, there's that. And our, let's see, I gotta switch out, whoops. Sorry about that. This one's gonna be in garden green. And I think I can just do it like right up here. Let me see if yep, I stamped it good. Okay. I'm not cleaning my stamps because I don't think I need them anymore, and I'll clean them up afterwards, just to save on time. All right, this I need a 2-inch circle, so I'm going to use those stylish shapes to cut the 2-inch circle. I think I'm just going to run it through there. See if I can get it through there. Yes. And then we'll do these others all at the same time, I think. I think I put them far enough apart. Okay, so there's that. That's a scrap. You could do something else with that later. And then we need these. I need this one, and this one. Again, I just like to use that Post-it tape to keep the die in place because it always moves around on me. I don't know how the girls do it. They just lay it down and run it through. Maybe someday I'll be that good. All right. I just love this. I would have never thought to use this color combination. So there's that. There we go. I think that's it for my die cutting. And we can assemble. All right, so this piece, I can go ahead and layer it onto this piece. I do have to do one tiny little stamped area. I'm gonna see if, okay. And then we'll do, I think it goes over here. So this one's gonna look just a tiny bit different from my other sample. So kind of center it. I'm making sure that the plaid is straight across, up and down. And then you can take the word thanks, and we're going to stamp with the Moody Mauve. Okay, and I'm gonna do it right down here. Perfect. we can just build this up. Let's do this, maybe like that. I'm just barely going to lay it down so that I can see if that's really where I want it. And then this is going to go up with some dimensionals. One there. I'm just going to cut one of these. And then here it about right there. I feel like I want this to come down a little bit more, tucked up in there. Same thing with that, I think. And then we can do one more bow. So let's bring that back in. Could do bows, knots, whatever your preference. I like bows. I feel like I do pretty good job at making bows. So, all right, and then hopefully that's about the same length. Then those glue dots. Start dinner here pretty quick. All right, and we'll just tack that right up underneath there. And let's do, I didn't even do any gems on the last one. Let's see. Hide one over here just to make them go further. Yeah, I've been doing the just 3. All right, so kind of in a triangle formation. And then this one, let's pop up. Let's get some more dimensionals. Let me see if I can, there we go. I can throw the last bit of these on here. What else do I got? This down here. Okay, that one's all used up. Do the corner. And then we'll just throw a few of these in here. And you don't have to put these up with dimensionals, but it sure does level up your card a little bit. Okay. And then you'll have about, let me see if I can get this on here straight. 1/4 of an inch all the way around. There's that card and this one. So one without gems, one with gems. I just forgot to put the gems on that one. But see how they're opposite? So it just depends on how you put that paper in your trimmer to score it. So either one will work. And then last but not least, this one comes together pretty quickly because there's very minimal stamping and no die cutting on this one. So just some scoring. So the first thing we'll do, we've got some little pieces of DSP that I'm going to adhere. So these are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. These are 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. So little bitty white border. So I hope you've enjoyed all the projects that I've created this week with the Regal Winter Suite Collection. If you haven't seen the other projects, if you're on YouTube, you can just check my past live streams. If you're on Facebook, you can go to media or photos and find all my videos. Okay, I want to make sure you have the smallest one. So we're going to take the smallest one here and we're going to go in 1/2 inch. Let me get this up here so you can see it. So 1/2 inch. Make sure your scoring blade or your cutting blade is out of the way. We're going to score and then move over 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to do 7 times. Whoops, that's the cutting blade. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you've got that right there. Ooh, this is really hard to see. All right, and this one can adhere right down to this piece. And if you have questions about measurements on something, just leave me a comment and I'll follow up with that when I'm done with what I'm doing tomorrow and home or over the weekend or something. I'll get back to you on that. And I need to do, I am going to adhere that with foam tape, but first I want to do some stamping, which I'm going to do Sending Love Your Way using Night of Navy. And we're going to put it right to the right of the score lines, about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay. Now let's go ahead and adhere this to here, and then we'll put those pieces on. So once I figure out what I did with my dimensionals, what did I do with them? Are they hiding under something? Hello, dimensionals. Pause, please. Found them. Oh, goodness. Trying to hurry because I've got to cook dinner. I've got to, again, this is a recording on Thursday night, not live. And I have another meeting to prepare for at 8 o'clock. I'm going to do a little teaching for my Uplines team meeting about how to make reels. So, alrighty. We almost have it together. Alright, now this one has, I think, well, probably not quite 1/2 inch. Hope I got that somewhat straight. And then these pieces we can put down with some dimensionals as well. Maybe put 2 on there. On each one. All right, and we'll start with the middle one. I am going to just kind of lay these out here. about 1/8 of an inch. That way I can just kind of figure out where I want it. And then I can line up there. And then position this one. Okay, I think I did pretty good. And then last but not least, we've got some gems. Oh, I've got those little pieces all over the place. The back of the Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to put one right underneath the love. We're going to put 3 down. See if we can line those up. All right, there's our last card. So let me get that a little bit closer so you can see that. There you go. You can see those score lines. All right, so thanks for joining me for Feel Good Friday. So sorry I wasn't able to be here live with you today. I'm just gonna lay these out so you can see them all. And see what we created today. How pretty, 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 pretty is all that. All right, again, if you have questions, be sure to just leave a comment and I'll get back with you on that. And don't forget about the Paper Pumpkin special that is happening through October 10th. So be sure to use that host or that code holiday40 if you're ready to subscribe as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Go to paperpumpkin.com. Be sure to add me as your demonstrator so that you can get my PDF that is in collaboration with 11 other demonstrators. We're called the Paper Pumpkin Creatives, and here's just a sneak peek of what I did for September's kit, the Autumn Abundance, and that will be exclusive to my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And be sure to check out the clearance rack refresh. It went live yesterday. Things have started selling out already, but I'm sure there's still lots of goodness in there. Marked up to 60% off. You can shop online at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net. Y'all have a great Friday, a great weekend, and I hope to see y'all on Monday for my next Make It Monday Live with Pamela at 10 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye.